Hello everybody, welcome back. This is the last video of module 3. I know it was a long module, but I hope you have fun and got some information you can use in real life. In this video we will showcase some real examples of attacks on OAuth. We will see two examples, one on uber.com and another is on github.com. So I hope it can be a light video for you. The first attack is from Jack. Jack is amazing pen tester. He found an XSS and the CSRF at Uber. He turned a simple cross-site scripting, self cross-site scripting, into a very, very dangerous cross-site scripting. So let's see what he was up to. First, he found an self cross-site scripting at partners.uber.com. Self cross-site scripting, as you know, it's a low signal vulnerability. You can't harm anyone because it's run on your own account, so you can't pass it to another user to run it on his browser. So you can do anything with it. But Jack continued debugging the website and found another interesting note that when you try to log in with partner.uber.com, partner.uber.com will redirect you to login.uber.com, and it's OAuth provider, so he requests OAuth authorize with response code, response type code. This is typical OAuth flow. And when authorization is done, okay, it redirects back to partner.uber.com with the code, authentication code, and partners.uber.com get the authentication code and exchange it with access token, and the login is complete. But the interesting note, he found that the Uber don't use state parameter to protect against CSRF attack. So you can pause this request and make another request with another authentication code if you want. But it's just still don't really attack. So he continued and found another thing. He can log out and without CSRF tokens, so he can remotely log out a user. So he found that browsing to log out destroys the user session on partners.uber.com and perform a redirect to logout function to destroy the session on login.uber.com. So there is two sessions for login and logout, one on partners.uber.com and the other on login.uber.com. Okay, the crazy idea he got then that he can send a very, very crafted malicious page to victim. What this malicious page will do and other exploits will do, that he wants to force logout to this user and then make the victim login with his attacking account and run the self cross-site scripting on his account, and when the JavaScript run, it's log out with his Ajax account and logging back to victim account to extract sensitive information from the victim account. So again, he tries to log out and then run the self cross-site scripting and return and log in back to victim account to extract sensitive information. It's crazy, but he done it. So let's see how he crafted this exploit. First, he make the HTML page that he prepared to send to the victim. The pages contain a request to log out on partners only. To make this track work, he needs to log out from only domain, which is partners.com. He needs to still be logged on login.uber.com, so he can log in it back without enter any informations. So request the logout on partners only and stop redirecting to login by using CSP, and initiate a login at partners.com only. So login to hacker code using OAuth code, authentication code, and redirect profile page to execute the self cross-site scripting payload. So let's see the code. This is the code for the HTML page he sent to the victim. This is just an HTML, but here in content security policy, he said that the only URL allowed for images is partners.uber.com, so he can stop the redirect. So when he loads this image is partners.uber.com logout. When the image is loaded, it will perform a logout on partners.uber.com, and when it tries to redirect to login.uber.com, the content security policy will plug this request, and the logout will be done only on partners.uber.com and will trigger on error event. On error event will call the login function. The login function, what it will do, it will initiate the login process. So he created another image with the login URL partners.uber.com/login, and this image, when loaded, it will initiate the login process, but when it redirects to login.uber.com, it will generate an error, so it will trigger on error event and this function. This function will create another image, but here the source is the callback. He tricked the partners.uber.com that he visited the login and the login redirect back with the callback, but here he already reserved the authentication code from itself, or hacker authentication code. And I think in the previous videos when we talked about attacks, we saw how we can get the authentication code from ourselves by intercepting the request. So it's very easy. So he put his own authentication code, so the victim can log in his account, and when this image loaded, he can perform the redirect to the profile, so he can run the cross-site scripting, the self cross-site scripting on his account onto the user browser. Good. Okay. The next part of his attack is within the self cross-site scripting itself. The cross-site scripting itself creates an iframe to log the user out of the hacker account and back to their account. Okay, using the CSP, again the iframe to avoid total logout. He don't want the user to totally log out. He wanted to log in back to their account. So he redirects the iframe to partners, normal redirect, so he can redirect to login.uber.com and redirect back to partners.uber.com because they already logged on login.uber.com, so the login flow will complete normally. And he will use another iframe to go to profile page and extract sensitive informations, and he can actually open as many as iframe he wants because the parent is the same origin as the child iframe, so he can access it via JavaScript with no errors. So let's see how the code works. This is the code for the self cross-site scripting. He injecting an iframe. The iframe is hosted on his website, and it's very easy. This is the content of the iframe. The first chunk of the code. This is the CSP again to make the logouts restricted to partners.uber.com, and when the image loads the logout, it's logout from partners.uber.com, but it halt the redirect and triggers on error event. On error event, he then redirects the window itself, the iframe, to partners.uber.com login. He wants the login to continue normally, to log in back with the victim account, and then he run a set timeout. He wait a few seconds, 9 seconds, and then wait for the login process to complete. And then he created a new iframe. Iframe is partner.uber.com/profile. And when this iframe loads, he extracts the email from the window, and boom, he got it. So he extracted sensitive data from the victim